now. Hey, we are live in the new setup. Uh-oh. So I figured the only way I can really use my timer to do this is to actually, like, I'm going to just stream with two different angles. This is like the close-up on top, farther away in the bottom, and now I can actually stream while I have my timer. All right, 15 seconds till the first set. All right. I guess I'm on it, right? On the camera. All right, so a little different. Let me get chat up here. All right. So a little bit different than usual. You usually see me here stream from my phone. So I'm streaming from OBS today. Let me get a chat up here or something. Hey, look. And thanks for tuning in. All right. What's up, Brad? What's up, Barney? I can, yeah, here. Fool's Guard. If you're still there, that's Fool's Guard. All right. Good. So it looks like we're good. Yeah. Oh man. So I have a sword fight coming up here in a week. Yeah, next weekend. So this is my cardio for it. This time I'm actually using my timer. I will be coming back and forth to chat. Yeah. So I use Fool's Guard in this. It's actually the one guard I use in like this kind of armored combat. But I use Oberhaus like 80% of the time. Thank you. This is just the front. The front and back isn't on because I can't put it on by myself. All right, so I'm gonna be coming back to chat, so don't worry. We're doing these sets of like a minute and 15 seconds. The thing is, when I was streaming before, I wasn't able to keep track of time. All right, and this is like every 30 seconds a break. And oops. If I get behind in chat, don't worry, like I'll catch up to chat. Whoa. But like this is kind of like cardio, you know? It's not like anything super crazy. Like, you know, I know like Fool's Guard. Actually, I do a shield howl a lot of times. And then I open up like that. The sword fighting I do, like if you look up Boomer, like armored combat, right, is what it is. And it's mostly just, so it's not like the most historical, because it is just sort of like a lot of just bonking. I mean, You gotta land with your blade, obviously. But the thing is, nobody like ever like attacks a weapon. There's a lot of times, you know, I'll wait for him to swing just to try and like get center and come up and hit him. But the thing is, like, because it's such just like a game of bonking, that there's almost no winding and binding play. And make sure the dummy doesn't get off. So I'm trying to do a bunch of sets here. You know, I'm going to switch these cameras maybe. No, I'm not. Oh. What up, Alex? I'll get to your comment in 1 second. I usually hit the training dummy in the head, but I broke his helmet, and I don't have it fixed yet. I have like a steel helmet on him usually. And usually when I've been live streaming this lately, like, I haven't been able to count time, you know, like, I've probably been having a little bit too much time off in between sets. So at least right now, this workout and the next one have to be higher intensity. I may switch swords here. It does. I don't have AC in here, so by the end, I'm going to be dying. Alex, yeah, hey, I was streaming Warframe and the power went out. It wrecked the whole stream. I was trying to save the broadcast. It didn't work. Because my router took forever to come back online. I don't know why. So the broadcast just ended. So it was a live stream for a live Warframe stream. And I was like, screw it. I gotta do this workout. Time for the workout. So there's no stabbing in this one though. That's it. Unfortunately, so it's not the most historical duels you can do. But that's because, like, look how big my eye slots are. I gotta use this sword because this is the one I'm fighting with. I'm not used to it. Alright, now we're taking a break. Catch up on chat. So we're gonna do it in this camera here. Whew. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Let me see if I can get chat up on here. Oh. What's up there, 4F? What's up? Welcome back. Let me turn this down. Does the sound okay? Oh yeah. I think the mic is on over there. But whew. If I could, I should have like a skull makeup. Sands, that would be a good outfit. Yeah, so, oh, I know, right? Yeah, I got water right here. Hopefully I don't go through too many of these. Yeah, no AC in here. Kind of sucks. I turn the fan on, but then, you know, you'd have to hear that noise. All right. Oh, thanks. I let it grow out before a fight. So the way it's gonna work, I have probably 20 duels if I win. You know, if I lose twice, it's over. So far this year, I have the first longsword tournament I did this year. It came in like, I don't even know. I was tied for like 6th out of 20. This one coming up, we're gonna have, I don't know how many people, but I'm sure it's gonna be full. So I'll probably have 20 fights. The thing is, if I start losing, then it's like all over for me. But for sword and buckler, I'm actually tied for like 2nd place in the U.S. And if I can get another like 2nd place here, I'll be definitely in 2nd place. Don't worry, I'm gonna get back to chat and stuff too in between. Yeah, well, oh, the sound didn't go off because I still have chat open. But I can see the timer's green, so it's time to switch. This is like really thin padding, just so I can move around a lot more. I watched when I hit that chandelier up there. At least with this, you know, I can do all kinds of things. In my thicker gambeson, I actually can't. It's actually so thick, and the armor weighs so much, like I can't even get my arms above here. But that's okay, because in that outfit, all I'm doing is hitting people with axes. I think the dummy's getting away from me here. This is just like cardio. Make sure I can swing a sword for like 20 duels here at this tournament. It's a fight, but I don't like to say the F word because I don't want YouTube to demonetize me because I said the word fight. All right, that's that round. Let me move this dummy back. Dummy's getting off camera, or maybe not. Maybe I'm just seeing things. See if I get this beeper to start beeping again. It is, yes. Here, I'll show you it. After this set's starting. Oh, the timer isn't making noise. I don't have the room to use that great sword in the house though. When your arms get tired, give them a hug, maybe a punch or two. Maybe push your face back and hit them one-handed. The timer says 30 seconds to go. My lower body's just kind of stepping. Unless I'm in place, I don't like this. I don't really do too much with my lower body. Alright, that's around. But, yeah, keep in mind, all these swords aren't sharp because we hit each other with them. So, my stream lags behind. I'm always one viewer, so I can see what's going on, but so this is not sharp. It's dummied down, right, for this fighting stuff, so like the D-rings aren't that big, but I still have them on there. And the parry hooks are smaller and rounded, but this is it. if I had the room in here, I would swing it around, but I would hit that door, and I'd probably hit that chandelier. And the other thing too, like I don't have the room to even do the rules of the montante exercise workout. Yeah, so it's get this timer going here. It's all endurance for the sword fighting. So basically, like I have, if you look up the term like buhurt, B-U-H-U-R-T, you'd probably find something like related to it. And when you're out there, it's obviously more dynamic. Like I'm not just doing this. Sometimes I might. If you get me cornered or if the other guy's worn out, I sit there. I don't even move. You know, I'll sit there like this. If I'm like cornered and I'm tired and I'm not getting out of the way, I'll usually go into some kind of flurry. Maybe hit him twice that way to mix it up, you know. But this is just like endurance cardio. Make sure that I am always able to swing. I've told this story before. I was fighting sword and shield like 3 years ago, probably by now, and I dropped my sword. I was fighting in first place, and I was so tired that when I was swinging my sword, it just fell out of my hand, and my grip was so bad. And I fight a lot too. This is like I'm going in to my 6th year of this stuff here soon, and I was like, man, it's finally getting to the point where it's like competitive. You know, like back in the day, people would like smoke and not exercise. You know, the first guy I saw that was fighting this, it was a team stuff where it was 5-on-5, and he was using a 2-handed axe, and he's like smoking a cigarette. He was like, "Oh, you get out of it what you put into it." I was like, yeah, makes sense. I fought with a guy like 5 years ago in the team stuff, and he had to drink like half a case just to function. But back then, you know, it wasn't as skilled now. Like, he might go up and like punch people, wrestle somebody, like fall down to the ground, get a, you know, like stuff like that. But these days, like people train for this, like jiu-jitsu and judo. People have all kinds of like exercise regimens. Like, I can't just go out there anymore and take my time and be like, all right, I'm gonna like start in a fool's guard and wait till he swings, and then gain the middle, and then get around him and do this. Like, I mean, these people just don't stop. It's a lot more dynamic now, but this here's just like cardio. I don't have my leg armor on, because I'm just exercising my arms. And a round is 60 seconds. This timer's set for 75, so that, you know, by now it would be over. Yeah, water break. I'm dying in here already. And that was like set 5 or 6 or something. So we got a timer now. Let me pause this so we can get a drink. Well, the sound's messed up, so let me bring chat back up. What's up, Robert? You can do it. Oh, so yeah, let me tell you, Robert, if you're still there, I got hit. So the last one of these I did, right? I got hit so hard from just what you're talking about. The guy wasn't running though, and you know helmets are curved, so it kind of can deflect blow, right? Like if somebody lands a sword strike on here, my saber, and we found historical painting of one dude out here in European armor using a saber. So that's my excuse. So, right, has this ridge. I don't know, maybe for strength, but so when you hit something, right, it kind of bounces off because it's curved. Well, this dude, and I don't even know, there's a couple marks on that ridge line. He must have come straight down right on that ridge because his sword didn't slide either way. And the force of that blow, even though it's just a long sword, and these things aren't like that heavy, I felt the force go like through my skull, and it like escaped through my teeth. I had my teeth clenched. I felt like a pop. It was so crazy. I was like, well, I should be wearing my mouth guard. I fight the stuff like the MMA version too, and I always wear mouth guard for that because then you can punch, kick, you can knee people in the head. But yeah, that was like one of the hardest sword strikes I've taken. It was in the last tournament I did too. I took the guy kind of like for granted. I didn't think he was going to be that hard. I ended up losing. This is my first fight of the day. I was like thinking this guy's kind of newer. He's actually really good. You can tell he did something with swords before this. Oh man, I know, like, usually you don't get hit that hard with just a long sword. But that guy, like, this has concussion padding, concussion foam. And then there's like a padded layer. And the freaking... Alright. See if I can turn this up. A long sword. But that guy, like... Just... Alright, now it sounds... Oh... I gotta watch with this because then my band braces want to smack my thumbs. I'll reset that timer to 75 seconds. But yeah, I mean, it was like the hit of all hits, I'm telling you. The amount of force that went through that sword, a long sword, to make my teeth pop, like I felt something explode in my mouth. It is nuts. Which, when you're fighting with teams, that's how physics work. If you have your helmet against someone else's and someone smacks you here, the force goes through me into them, which is kind of crazy too. Alright, it's kind of a storm outside. The only reason the broadcast is stopping is if the power goes out again. I think the hardest hits are low to high. And over the years, I've just developed like this. I used to do kind of like stuff like this. You know, I'd come around like that. I've started tucking my hands because a lot of good people in this sport, you know, it's just like you got to get 1 or 2 more points than they get to win. And if you're good, and I'm swinging low, and I'm bringing my sword around to come high like I used to do all the time, as soon as I go like that, I get hit. By the time I even get up here, I get hit again in the ribs. So I've kept a more centered stance. Most people still go right foot forward. I prefer left foot forward. It keeps my head back a little bit. There are a lot of times where I've ducked people's strikes. Yeah, I would have kept boxing, but it was going to hurt my thumbs. My armor would hit my thumbs. Yeah. When I fight like the MMA stuff, though, I usually use a sword and shield. I actually use a sword and buckler. But when you do that, oh, you can pummel strike, you know. I love hitting people in the chest. No one expects it. If someone has me bent over, I'm always like in try and get up above their leg armor. You know, you can push them in the face. You can't grab their sword blade. The MMA rule set, though, you can do all that. You can run up to somebody like this and smack them with your, like a headbutt. You can run up to them and you can kick them in the chest. For the duels I'm doing, though, at this tournament, the punches and kicks don't count for anything, so people don't really throw them. But sometimes it is nice to hit someone with an elbow or a punch unexpectedly, just to throw them off. I disconnected my light. There it is. One more set. I'm gonna drink some water, catch up on chat. I'm trying to at least keep these like 3 in a row, because you only get a 30-second break. And if you aren't ahead by enough points, they keep adding rounds so someone's clearly ahead. The closer you are, the less you gotta pull back. All the referees look for is that you bring the weapon back. You can't go like this, but you can go like this. I don't want to hit anything. I get a little more crazy with that, but I think I may hit something. I'm actually getting a little worn out, my arms. I guess all my live streams have been a little less intense than usual. But I got a fight in a week. Gotta get the exercise. It's good because I'm chatting. When I'm chatting, I'm actually using up a lot more air. Oh, no AC. Catch up on chat here. Oh. You don't get hit that hard with just a longsword. But I gotta. It's too bad I actually have to turn the volume down to get to chat. All right. I miss anything there? Yeah, it's burning. All right, Brad, if you are coming back, we'll see you in a little bit here. You drink some water. So it's like, I don't know, like the best thing about it for me is just it's fun. Keeps me in shape. It's a competition. It's up to me. You know, it's up to me to train. The only person I can blame for failing when I lose is me. Or sometimes they're just like facing somebody who's like a lot better than me. One of my teammates is fighting today out in Delaware. They have a big, they have like this cage match tournament out there. I got knocked out, was it in October? I feel like I should be okay getting back to MMA stuff now, but after being like unconscious from getting like whacked in the head so hard, I don't know. I took a little break from the MMA stuff. The next one we're doing them here in Pittsburgh is September or October, so I'll definitely be fighting in those. It's just a matter of in between there. I don't know. Yeah, I got a lot of trophies. I wonder if I'm sitting around here. I don't. I can't bring the camera I'm streaming from today. I can't take it in that room. Maybe I can grab one though, probably. Here, I'll grab something. this is one. I have a lot of this shit. So this is fighting MMA. I fought this out in Virginia. I think this is a Virginia event. First place as geez, actually 2024. So that's 2 years ago. That's before I got knocked out and decided, I don't know, I need a break from MMA. But yeah, I have a lot of trophies. I have a lot of wins at places that didn't even have awards. You know, they just, you go out there. That's the thing. You don't make any money doing this. What's up, Scooby? What's up, Scooby? You don't make money from this. It's starting to get to the point where I think people will. But at the same time, like, I'll be too old and I'll be done before that point actually comes. All right, so we're going to get this timer going here. All right, 30 seconds to the next set. So it's like, you know, there's plenty of events I did where they just don't have awards. I can think, I know there's at least 5 of them where I won something and I didn't get anything, not even a medal. There's one up in the Poconos. I've won events there more than once. Oh, I got a drink laying on the floor. Now I've won events more than once there. Never got anything. And I didn't even have anyone taking pictures of me to show I was even there to win. Out here though in Pittsburgh, we try and pay people, even if it's like just $20 that you get for coming. I mean, it helps. It's like gas money. I'm telling you, the day that this stuff takes off and it's popular and people get paid is probably about the year that I'll probably be too old to do this shit. Nashville Armored Combat is the place where people actually get paid. They have the most professional setup. A lot of times I even do stuff like that with my foot. I play around through like these kicks just for like a distraction. Oh yeah, so the very first fight I did in this, it was like the MMA style. So it was 5 years ago, and I got $30 because they're giving everyone a share of the ticket sales. If you won, you got 30. If you lost, you got 15. I was like, I got $30. I'm taking a turnpike home, which I did, because the turnpike's like $50. I won $30 and spent it at a toll booth. So that's good. We got a close-up camera for all this stuff. And we got the side view camera for if I'm moving around. This may be the new format, everybody, but I felt like I bumped into that TV. Maybe I didn't. Longsword, yeah, the R2. I'll show you the R2. Yeah, this is an R. I should name a workout the R1 spam workout. Here's the R2. Watch me break something. It's a. This is the R2. It's got a little bit of a jump to it. My endurance bar just went whoop. R2. R2. Lock on target. Plan unlocked. But like, this is just exercise for my arms, everybody. Whoa, I can feel it. That means my last live streams I was not working hard enough for the last month. But it's alright. So I think, oh, we're past set 10. That's nice. We're making a good pace. And honestly, when I fight out there, half the time I try and waste the first 15 seconds. So we only got fight for 45. Alright, this is going to be a slower set. Just making. I'm closing my eyes half the time too because I've sweat in them. Now, actually, though, a real R2 would probably be up like this. And I have to time it. So what is today? Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm gonna have another broadcast this Tuesday, and then I'm gonna have Wednesday, Thursday off before my fight. I don't know. I have to decide. I don't want to wear myself out before a fight either. I get this helmet, I have sweat in my eyes like you wouldn't believe. Well, you might believe it. Oh. I'm getting a roll of paper towels. Usually I can take the camera with me because I'm streaming. Oh. We can't have a set start yet. Usually you can see me walk around because I take the camera, but today I'm on here with a actual computer webcam, so I can't take it and go mobile. I just, sweat's killing me. It's not so bad, but just sweating, but it's getting my eyes. It's crazy. Oh my God, is it? Well, shoot. A 4-pack. Too bad I can't have that though when I'm driving. Oh man. If the sweat wasn't getting my eyes, I'd be totally set. Yeah, it is a crazy workout. And if you're sticking around to the end, I always take the armor off. I don't lift weights at all, although I might start because I'm single, right? And most exercise I do are stuff like this where it's for swords. Lifting weights is not going to help me excel in this, but the last couple girls I went out with were really active and had better muscle definition than me, and I was like, not that the biggest deal in the world, but I might lift some weights again. Not for sword fighting, for dating. But you'll get to see my forearms though if you stick around to the end. My forearms from this are like just crazy. And it keeps you in shape. Even if you don't use a sword, use a broomstick. If you don't have a dummy, you can there's so many things you can do. You can even just stack a piece of wood up with a base on it. As long as you don't hit it so hard you're gonna knock it over. Get some wrist weights, but you gotta watch, because when you start putting weight out away from your shoulder, you set yourself up for a shoulder injury if you're not in shape. But you know, this is a great workout, that's for sure. And as long as the set starts, so I still got at least 60 seconds, that's fine. I set the timer for 75, just so I'm like doing more work than what's required, longer than required. Oh. This is my range here. I gotta remember that sometimes. I can hit someone when they get right there. You can hit people one-handed, but then it's not worth as many points, but you can do that. Still, the best is you get them up like this. It's easier to go like this. I'm doing this left-handed too, so it's kind of awkward. Let's finish this set left-handed. Oh, set's over. Haha. All right. Does this look like I'm right-handed? Yeah, it does. My when I stream from mobile, it always has it flipped, and I don't know how to fix it. Oh man, Alex, I don't know. And the funny thing is, I have a dance date. I may have a new ballroom dance partner on the 30th. I hear she's pretty ripped too. The next break, after the next set, the extended break, I'll give you a better detailed explanation of them. Do a couple this way, different kind of movement. Get a little worn out. Wrestle around with them up here. Oh, oh man, I hit that from range. I thought I was going to miss that. Oh. 4, 5, 4, 3. I'll tell you about these jack girls in the next after this set. I feel like we're flying through this workout though. Usually, like, and the old format I was doing is good, but I can tell I must have been like really getting behind on my workouts on my last live streams, because I'm actually getting tired. Then this is my usually workout. I would do 40 sets like this. Whoa. I don't know what that was. Switching swords. This one's easier to control, but it's harder because the grip on the bottom's round. I think if I hold the pummel, I'll be all right. Uh, and I'm actually throwing some flat shots because the grips, I'm so not used to this grip. My arms are getting tired. Oh. Yeah, I may skip my hardcore sword workout. This next one coming up. I may skip it. Maybe I'll go to the park and do some, because what is Saturday? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have 5 days between this and when I have the actual fight. So, thing is, I don't want to show up and be tired. I want my muscles to recover. Where did I put these paper towels? All right, so the last girl I was seeing, I just met them on an app, but she works out like she runs stadium steps. So she tells me, okay, like when we first start talking, I'm like, that's cool. Like you do that. She lists on her profile that she's active. It doesn't say how active, right? She runs like at some football stadium, like sprints these steps. She lifts weights, all this stuff. She was ripped, and I may have some good sword fighting forearms. But when you get here and stuff where it's a little squishy, I was like, man, it's like I felt kind of bad. I guess you can't see it, but I got some pretty good quad definition. I do a lot of ladder drills and exercise with those. What's up there, Paulie? What's up, Paulie? And then the one before that, man, we still follow each other on TikTok, even though we've been split up for like 8 months now. Still like each other's stuff sometimes. Nothing going on between us anymore, but gosh, she had this gym pose where she was like going like this or something, and it was like bodybuilder material. She's not like a pro or nothing. It's just I was like, holy crap! Like I feel bad. I should lift some weights too. It's good because I'm still out of breath from that last set, and chatting with everybody keeps me out of breath. Maybe that's not a good thing. Yeah, I know, right? And it's not always. You know what? If I just sort of look at, I look at more than anything. Oh, what's this? A strap from something ripped off. Anyway, so I look more for like I like when they take care of hair, nails, stuff like that. They don't have to be like a 10. Though I would be lying if I said I don't like try and message 10s. And I just get it. I just am good. I just must be barely good enough looking that I usually say like 80% of the time doesn't work out. But man, I went out with this girl who is like way out of my league. Like I don't know what the hell she saw in me. Looks wise, I'm saying. When you get my age, I'm in my 40s. I don't want to be dating. I just want to get a girl and it's like just have a freaking long-term relationship. But having a career and a hobby, because so many of these girls want to get involved in your hobby. It doesn't have to be sword fighting. It could be like frisbee. It could be golf. They want to get involved. They want to be able to talk to you about something other than work. I found in my 40s, probably the best thing is a career. You don't have to have a career or something special. You could be like, as long as you have a job and you can afford your own stuff. That's what they care about. You know what I mean? Yeah, famous last words. I've had straps break. It sucks. I don't know where I set that sword. I guess it's over here. I had somebody cut one of my straps that holds my leg armor on, and I felt like something different. My leg armor kind of slid down, and this dude whacked me there again, right in the skin. It hurt so bad. because they're leather straps and they break. I don't know what strap that was that I just found. But it's fabric, so I'm like, I don't know. I'm not wearing anything that wears one of those straps. It could have fallen out of this dummy or something, you know. Like, I used to have, like, different outfit on it. It could have been something that fell off. I stepped on the light again. I must have unplugged it. And I see chats on, so I will get to it in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me get this light on here. I keep stepping on the switch or something. Oh man, it was so bad. But I don't know what it is. I fought this one dude 3 times, and 2 times, like, it's a bad guy move, but it's legal. You can hit people like, someone could totally aim for me right here. If I'm doing something like this and they see they got a shot here, they could aim here if they want. People usually don't. But, and I don't complain if they do. There's a guy I've fought a bunch of times though, and he always picks out where my gaps are and hits me in them. And it's always like the first hit. In the MMA stuff, I tell you, there's nothing like trading a couple blows real quick and you get hit here so hard that you already just want to quit. And then you have a minute and 58 seconds to go still of the first round. There's a lot of willpower in this sport for when you get hit. I've had times where I gave up. I've had times where I was too worn out, or I just got beat up too much, and you get a little distance and you take a knee. And that's how you forfeit. I've done it. I've also fought like hundreds of times, you know what I mean? But I know, but it's a legal thing. I don't do it. The only times I do it is if we're fighting at a national tournament, because everybody does it. Actually, like a national tournament, that's what you're supposed to do, kinda. You want to win. Everybody gets along in the end, but, and I mean national tournament is team stuff. In duels, I still don't hit people in their gaps. When it's like 5-on-5 and you're out there and someone's kind of turned and you see a nice opening with an axe or something, by all means, you hit them. They're going to do it to you. If you are fighting somebody in the MMA though, and you hit them, and if you hear them go, oh, that's where you hit them again. But I don't purposely go out looking for the soft spots, unless it's the team. Unless it's like 5-on-5 teams, and it's for the national events. Because then, if you win, you qualify to be on Team USA. One more set. No, yeah. No, this is the break set. I'm taking a break now. Because then I have 3 left till I reset the clock. Alright, water break. Oh, man. Yeah, I've been live streaming my workouts now for over a month. I was slacking because I'm actually worn out. I'm never worn out at this time. Make it that high, like you mean like to win to get that far? I So I could have fought overseas on Team USA, like it was 4 years ago. Actually, I was pretty active going to events by myself because it was right before COVID started, and I was just starting to get people to join our team, and COVID happened. It kind of died out. But so it was just before COVID, and I was. I don't know. I think I was talking to somebody or whatever. But I was still mostly going to events by myself. No. That's right. I had a teammate, and I talked him into coming out to try it. So I'm like, hey, man. I was like, it's not that bad. We're going to an event. We're just going to be fighting for, they called it an exhibition, so it's not like 100% kill everybody. If you want, we can go fight for this team. You'll get first-hand experience on what this stuff's all about. It's 5-on-5. No, it's 3-on-3s. Or was it 5s? No, it was 5s. And he's like, all right. We got there. The other team showed up to like kill everybody. And we got along. I know people on the other team. But I was like telling him, man, this isn't like as easy as I was telling you. They're not going to take it easy on us at all. And man, he had an axe come through his shield. Like, he had quite an eye-opening experience. I'm surprised he didn't quit. We got our butts kicked. Now, when we had a full team going though together, we were good enough. We fought at the Arnold Fitness to make it into the top bracket, and a lot of us were kind of new. Like we had me and Chris, my teammate, were the most experienced. The next guy had like 3 or 4 fights. This is for the team stuff, 5-on-5s under his belt. And we had a bunch of people that never even really fought before outside of practice. And we did so well that we beat everybody on day 1. You don't get anything for day 1. It just decides you're going to fight the next day. And we lost in the gold bracket, but we did so good that we got there. 4 years ago, I got asked to go to be on Team USA, but it wasn't for how good I was. It's because I needed someone who had a passport and could probably afford the trip. And I said no. I was like, I'll earn it. Well, I haven't earned it yet. It's 4 years later. If I do good in Buckler this season, if I keep it up, though, I'm at that level, that high enough level. I could be on Team USA for Sword and Buckler. Not as first place. I don't think I'll catch the guy who's in first place. But if I get another second place or first at this next event in Buckler, I would be like the backup guy. They take 2 people. They take first place and they take second place overseas. So we'll see. Maybe I will get overseas. I had the opportunity. I turned it down because I felt like they were just asking me to have somebody there, and I should have just went. I should have not been an idiot. Be like, I'd feel better if I earned my spot. Nope. I could. The level of competition though these days is so high. Like I'd be. Oh, my strap just broke. Oh, that's bad. Oh, I gotta fix this before the tournament. Oh, that's not good. Well, shoot. I don't even know where it rivets in. I'm gonna have to take this whole thing apart to find out. I see where it's riveted. It's riveted and then it's shaved off inside the helmet. The outside of the helmet is buffed out. Like, oh, that's not good at all. Hang on, timeout. I'm just seeing where this strap connects inside my helmet. I have to rip all the sewing out of here to get to it, which sucks. Well, good thing it happened now. I have a couple days. I have a couple days of work. Oh, no. You know what I'm going to do? Oh, duh. I'm gonna rivet it to this old strap and just put some tape around it so the rivets don't bother my skin. Oh, I'll be good. Yes. All right. That's how we're fixing it. Much easier. Haha. They don't care. The rest don't care as long as they feel that you got a strap on under your chin. Yeah, right, yes. Yeah, if it happened during a tournament, I'd have to throw my backup helmet on. I hate fighting in that helmet for duels because I can't see. Alright, yeah, so we're going to fix it the easier way. I'm gonna rivet it into the strap that's remaining. And hopefully I have enough left where I can still tighten it up. Oh, that's horrible. I shouldn't pick it up by the strap either, probably. That's probably another lesson to learn. Alright, these next 3 sets in a row. After that, I think that'll be 24. Then I'm going to reset the clock and we're going to do a bunch more. Alright, so I gotta use this. I stepped on the light again. What the heck, man? What kind of light? Cheap, it has a cheap plug. Alright, I just gotta get used to the feel of this sword here. This is what I'm fighting with, and I don't like the grip. So I'm going kind of slower. Just trying to focus, make sure I'm throwing on edge. I feel like I'm getting used to it. When I swing this way, I grip it, I sort of flick it more with my bottom fingers. When I come this way, I squeeze the top. Now I use my thumb in the middle for where it pivots. Seems like that's working out. It keeps it really loose in my top hand though, which shouldn't be a problem, but I feel like helping to turn it with my thumb, switching from side to side, keeping it blade on a little better. The other sword, my top hand, my grip never changes. So in my head, because the grip is the same as the blade, you know, I'm like consciously trying to make sure that it's aligned. The thing is, when I start going faster, I'm no longer holding it that way. So that's a problem. While I can keep it on edge really good here, I rely a little bit more on my bottom hand when I'm switching so fast, and it's wanting to twist it out of my top hand. And if you can see on the bottom camera, if this was where some of the sword sports you can stab, but see how it's so bendy, and so that if you do poke somebody, not all that force goes into them. So this would also be a good sword for Hema. Alright, that was kind of this next set's going to be kind of easy too. I'm just trying to use this and get used to the grip. Then we'll switch back to the crazy cardio BS that I do. Yeah, yes. It's always good to stress test their stuff. There's no time to start figuring out your stuff once that you get there for the day. this is so nice for throwing one-handers. But if I'm close, why does it feel worse? Here it feels just like the other sword. Probably because there's so much weight below here, but throwing it from range, this is great. I gotta see which day I'm fighting too. It could be Friday. I hope it's later in the week. I really hope it's Sunday. That means I can get another workout in. But I'm sure duels will be Friday because all the team fighting stuff. The team fights are usually on Saturday and Sunday. That's because it's harder to coordinate people on a weekday. You know what I mean? Like, it's harder to get a team to show up for a Friday event than it is for Saturday or Sunday. All right, that is the end of those 24 sets. Wait a second. Let me look at something here. I use this calculator. All right, so 30 seconds in between is 12 minutes. That's like a 42-minute workout. So 30. That doesn't make sense. I feel like I did more than 24. Either way, we're gonna reset this timer. We're gonna do a couple more. I'm ahead of schedule though, everybody. I'm feeling it. Usually, this cardio stuff with the longsword is no joke. Usually, whenever I'm fighting, like in an event, you get 2 rounds. You get 5 minutes, 10-minute break. You get another couple rounds, 2, 3 rounds, right? You get another 5, 10-minute break. But the thing is, once it gets to the point where you're like when you start hitting like the finals, the top brackets, you're fighting like almost nonstop. You're going like, you might have a 30-second break in between rounds, and like they give you at least a couple minutes if you just fought, and then you get like 2 minutes. Like, I don't even take my helmet off if I'm up again. It sucks. That's what this cardio is to help with. Trying to see. Did I miss anything in chat yet while I was going? No. Oh, nice. Yeah, you know what? Like, just staying in shape is good. I tell you, I'm a nurse at a hospital. You know what one of the main reasons why people have a worse life when they're older is because they're not mobile. Now, you could totally have a reason. Like, there's a reason why you might like have trouble like with mobility when you get older. Maybe someone gets MS. Maybe you break a bone, or maybe something happens, a disease, you can't move around as much. But like any healthy person, I'm telling you, that comes to the hospital that are like in their 80s and they can't get out of bed, that should have been in shape, is because they didn't stay in shape. Not that you even have to be in great shape, but just like I tell my mom, man, try and do some push-ups. You know, she's in her 70s or something. Like, what happens when you're older and you fall down and you can get off the floor? You know, we get people in the hospital that spent like 4 days, 5 days on the floor because they couldn't get up off the floor to call somebody. Can you imagine how boring that would be, laying on your floor for 4 or 5 days? Especially if you don't have a pet to keep you company. My God. So I tell my mom, like, you should do push-ups, sit-ups. She doesn't. And you know what's gonna happen? She's gonna get older and she's gonna be in bad shape. Even if you just get out and walk, you know, work out in the daytime will keep you active, keep you moving. And the days I don't do this, I usually do. If you ever want to get into ladder drills, you know, like that football players do and stuff. Okay. Thanks for the emotes. Ah, thank you, thank you. I'm getting a refill on the water. Anybody that's still tuned in, don't worry, I'm coming right back. Thanks for all those emotes. Oh. I think mobility. Thanks again. Out of anything is like the key. Because when we're in our like 70s, 80s, is the time like when people start to get all kind of problems. And if you get stuck in bed in your 70s and 80s, and you come to the hospital and you're not already have some physical conditioning, like you're done. say you get pneumonia. Say you're 80 years old and you come from home, and at home you can get around your house and make breakfast. You can cook. You can get stuff out of the fridge, whatever. This is just a person who doesn't have any physical diseases that would limit them. It's just a lack of doing exercise. Then you get stuff off the bottom shelf in the fridge. Then you can do some things. Guess what? They get pneumonia. They come to the hospital and they're in bed 4 or 5 days. You know what? That they have to go to rehab because now they can't walk because they're that out of shape. Just walking and getting out or doing something, even if for a half hour a day, five days a week or something like that, to keep you in shape, keep for when we get older. All right, we're gonna get this next set going here. About 20 minutes to go, everybody. Oh, the volume's off on the beeper. Hang on. We'll just reset that. That's my timer that I failed to use during my live stream so far because I couldn't stream and use my phone. So this is the new setup, the 2-camera view. It'd help if I put this gauntlet on the right way. Now this is a sword that I've been using all these years. And it feels worse. So that's good, it feels worse. So that means my new sword is better. It feels worse like as in the balance. After 3 sets, I'll show you what I mean about sword balance. Man, there's still 15 seconds to go. All right. Boy, I tell you what, I'm getting a workout today. Oh. Awesome. Oh, I bet. That's cool, yeah. Way to go on that. Oh, man, I don't run a fast mile. I think my fastest mile is still like, it's above 8 minutes. I don't really know because I just sort of start going. And I know about how long so I'm just taking an average, you know, like, I don't run fast at all. But running helps me. Ugh. All right. What's range on this? All the way back here. I'm stepping on that switch that turns the light off. I would have just turned it off again. I gotta remember, this is my range. This weekend, this is my range. The grip is a little bit longer. The blade is a little bit shorter than my other sword, so that's why I'm just testing. But I could hit somebody one-handed from here. feel it wobbling a little bit. I'm not hitting exactly edge on when I go low. If I think about it, like I just did right there, I hit edge on. Boy, this sword is going to make me have to use my head. I'm going to have to think, okay, am I hitting with the edge? The other sword's more for dummies. The grip's set, so like I'm always doing, hey, someone new popping in there. What's up there? Twisted. What's up? I'm catching chat, just so you know, it's in between sets. And we're after this set's a break. If I could have some kind of chat thing that pops up in my helmet so I could see and I could be like, oh yeah, I could do live chat while I'm streaming. I could be chatting with you. I could be reading chat while I'm swinging the sword. I'm doing this with my eyes closed right now. I swear. But that's just now I'm not. But that's just because he's in that same spot. All right. Whoa. Hi. So this sword just makes me think. I have to think about being on edge. How about this way? Yep. Wow. Getting worn out. This is set 26 total. Or 27. Maybe it's 27. I don't know. All right. A little bit of extended break. Let me catch you on chat. All right. I'm gonna be on the bottom camera this time. That way I don't have to mess with the sound. I always like mute the sound. Oh. Yeah. The only time I ever had to run fast was when I played soccer in high school. Oh yeah, heck yeah. So the stuff I'm doing isn't so much HEMA, but I've done HEMA a lot in the past. Actually, I got into armor while I was in HEMA. And I mean, the difference in HEMA is it can hurt a little more. It shouldn't, but there's some people out there that are kind of a-holes that'll like hit you in the bone a little harder. You know, like I used to spar with this dude, and he hit so unnecessarily hard. I hated it. With a HEMA helmet, you know, this helmet I'm wearing here, I can take a two-handed axe hit to the head. HEMA gear, no. Like that hit I was saying in the beginning of the stream where I got hit so hard in the head, I felt the force come out through my teeth. He hit me in the side of the head with my HEMA mask on. I felt that bad. So the stuff I'm doing, like actually, all right. So see this tip here? This is my HEMA sword. See how it's got a roll on it? This is just a difference in the swords at first. This has a roll on it. It's a lot narrower, and it's so whenever you in HEMA, right? So I stepped on a stupid light again, and it shut off. I'm done with the light. I'm on camera, right? So in HEMA, right? If you stab somebody, like it's kind of rolled. It's got that kind of roll tip on it, or they use like these plastic things that make it like a little bit more flat, right? Because you're allowed to stab people in HEMA, and it's just so you don't hurt somebody so much. And if you notice, the sword flexes. So see, if I would stab them, see how the sword bends? So it takes some force out of it too. The crossguard is actual legit length. This is probably how long a crossguard would be on a HEMA sword. Now on the swords I'm using for this sport, so what I do in armor is, in HEMA is one hit and to win, right? This is like how many hits in a time limit. So this sword, as you can see, doesn't have that rolled tip. It's a little bit fatter. That's because we have like a regulation. Like it has to be basically is that curve of my thumb. Neither of them are sharp. This cross guard's a lot shorter because when I have my steel gauntlets on, they end about here. That's because in HEMA, you're not allowed to like thrust people, punch people. Well, you can do a lot in HEMA, but it's a shorter cross guard, so it keeps it from going through people's eye bars. But then check this out. If I stab somebody with this, like this thing barely wants to bend at all. So it's like very bad for HEMA because if you thrust somebody like this, they're gonna get all this force into their body compared to the other sword that bends. Difference in the swords. The fighting in what I'm doing, you're not allowed to stab. So it's not probably as real as HEMA. HEMA is more real combat than armored fighting that I do. The stuff I do is called boo hurt, right? Make sure I don't miss anything in the chat. All right, so we can't stab. However, if I wanted to, in HEMA you can do all this stuff. You can half sword and do things like this and like disarm somebody like this, whatever. You can kind of do that in our sport too. But the other thing you can do in our sport is I could grab this and grab my grip behind here and headbutt somebody. I could pull them down. I could get somebody's head down here and knee them in the head. I could come up to them. You can throw and stuff in HEMA too, but I can I'll say like the violence of this sport is so much higher. HEMA is to one hit, so if you get somebody and you throw them on the ground, they get on the ground, maybe you go like this, like match over. Maybe you get them on the ground, you wrestle, and you can stab that way, and then it's over. In this, you get somebody on the ground and you beat the crap out of them until they get away from you, which doesn't happen often because they're wearing armor. This one is to as many hits as you can get in a minute rounds. HEMA is to one hit. HEMA is probably more accurate. HEMA is more accurate, and you'll know a lot more about sword fighting doing HEMA. This is more like bonk bonk. But the physical intensity of this is just insane. Like fighting in armor. HEMA, you have your HEMA, I have a whole HEMA outfit. I don't know how much it weighs. A lot of times I wear my HEMA jacket outside in the winter, just because instead of a winter coat. And people will be like, "What kind of jacket is that?" I'm like, "It's for sword fighting." And they go, "What?" Like my armor that I fight in teams with, it's 115 pounds. And I have to be in such crazy shape for it. And I also get to hit people as hard as I can with a two-handed axe, which is great. To be a smart sword fighter, you do HEMA. To be like a dumber sword fighter, you do the boo hurt. But I think the boo hurt's more fun because I don't like getting hit once and then the match is over. I like this where you can hit and it just develops the whole match, you know. It's not like this is just cardio day, you know. I'm just doing this. But when you're out there in a real boo hurt fight, you know, I mean, it is crazy. You got people like ducking around, like it's all the same. But if I come around somebody and go like this, it's not like match over. It's like, all right, where am I hitting them next? You know what I mean? Like, I don't like one-hit kills. I like to be able to fight for like a minute, 2 minutes. I like that in HEMA. You really can't do this. If you have plastic, these are HEMA gloves, and they let you punch kind of. But I love it in armored combat. I can just come up to somebody and hit them as hard as I want, hard as you can. And if I had the room, you know, like I do a lot of HEMA stuff in this still. I still do hits like this. I'm one of the only people out there still throwing untul. The only thing is, you're fighting for points, so in HEMA it's great, you know. If you hit no damage. If you hit somebody like this in HEMA and you score, round's over. In this, I hit you like this, well, I gotta follow it up because I still got 58 seconds to go, you know what I mean? I just don't like, one hit and you're dead. you know, you got all these other guards in HEMA. You know, like you got, like, there's so many different guards. In this sport here, I found the most useful thing is keep my hands out here. That way I can block a little bit. All they're looking for is you pull the sword back in between hits. You know, I could go, but by the time I come up like that, I'm getting hit. Possibly twice. But I could just come up and start going boom, boom, like right in the face. And then grab, ooh, pull their head down, beam in the face. So I mean, those are some differences. But HEMA is so much fun. Definitely HEMA. The most realistic out of all of them is called harness fectin. Like harness fectin. HARNISFECHTEN, I think. It's an armor. It's expensive as shit because you need armor. That's probably most accurate. Then HEMA. HEMA is really good. And then this stuff that I train for is like below that. There's stuff from HEMA that I do, like in person still. But since we can't do any kind of stabbing, then, you know, it's a whole different ballgame. You know, I gotta be smart. I gotta hit people from here. I see somebody standing there with their hands out like this, and I can give them a hit in the hands, you know. And maybe they raise up their hands, and I come up like a HEMA guard like this. The guards still come in handy, but without being able to like actually thrust at people, it's definitely not the most accurate. And HEMA is so much, the armor costs money, you know, that's what sucks too. And like our armored fighting team, we have extra armor if people want to try it. Most HEMA clubs have extra HEMA gear. And you know what this sword cost me? $195. And that's a good HEMA sword. However, this isn't my original HEMA sword. I got this after I was fighting in armor because it felt more like what I use. A lot of those HEMA swords though, those feathers are like a lot more narrow. You know, like, don't take my advice on buying this for HEMA. But, as I was showing you the example, they're typically like got a rolled tip and stuff like that. A lot of HEMA places even have the plastic weapons. They have all kinds of stuff. Like a big HEMA club ought to have stuff where you could go and you don't even need to buy anything yet, you know? I think it's so much better than Olympic fencing. I did Olympic fencing when I was like 20 years ago. German longsword, like HEMA German longsword and buckler and saber is so much better than Olympic fencing. Even if it is only the first touch. That's my opinion though. Like, I don't want to sit there and do this stuff anymore. I want to be able to get out there with a sword and like intercept somebody's sword. Then you can push it up and around. Like, there's so much sword play you can do. A lot of HEMA's controlling the center, you know. You learn about the spots on the sword, like from here down is the strong part. This is the weak part. You want to like touch swords, or in a position where now, like if there's this here, you get your strong part here, so you can push them out of the way and come back like that. That's like a win. You know what I mean? Maybe they're holding this. you smack their sword out of the way. Then you come up this way. They're like this. So you stand here like this. You know, like there's different guards you learn that counter other guards. Alright. Taking a break after this set. So I'm gonna make this set count. Oh man, am I getting worn out? Ugh. There's probably going to be take a break, 3 more sets and I'm done. But I'll take the armor off. I'll show you everybody as promised. I'll show you my forearms after fighting what they look like. Alright, quick break, get some water. Because I have to get a shower and I have to get the goth dance night. They have a DJ. I listen to goth music, believe it or not. One of the coolest girls I ever dated in the last couple of years, I was not goth enough. She'd come to all my events. Actually, last time I saw her was at I had a cage match, you know. Thought everything was cool. We'd been dating for 5 or 6 months. After I won that day too, and I dropped her off, and she never talked to me again. I don't know why. A couple weeks went by. I asked her. She's like, "Well, I don't really think I want to be in a relationship." I was like, "All right, whatever. I mean, at least I know now." Next 2 days are kind of shitty. We don't hear back, and I don't sit there and pester somebody. You know, I'm like, "Hey, what are you up to in the morning?" Or "Good morning, what are you up to?" You know. Didn't hear from her all night. Like, "Hey, everything's all right," since we haven't talked. A couple days go by. Okay, well, I guess that's it. But I saw her new boyfriend, total goth dude, much better match. I don't look goth. Though I like the music, and I probably know more old goth bands than she does. I go to more goth band concerts than she does, but technically I'm not like goth enough for her. Really cool though. She collected like like these old clowns or something. Like kind of neat collection she had. But that's the thing, you know. Like I got this old Victorian house. Like we love the same kind of architecture. But I'm going to goth night. I'm gonna wear my one of my fighting T-shirts that's black. With some black pants. Bring your sword. Yes. You know what? I actually always have a sword in my car. There's always a sword in my car. You want to know something about getting in shape? Here, I'll give you. This is my biggest tip. I have a whole TikTok for my fighting stuff. My biggest tip for staying in shape: keep exercise equipment in your car. Whether it's it could be just a jump rope. You know, I keep in my car a jump rope. I got 2 sets of the ladders that you put on the ground. A real sword, it's, you know, not sharp, and a shield, and an axe, a 2-handed axe. I have a car axe. I've gotten the police have come before and asked if I had anything in the car. I was like, "Well, a sword and an axe." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, I fight with them. It's for sport." I was like, "They're not sharp." They're like, "Oh, okay." Well, they're like, "Just leave them where they're at, you know." Anyways. But yeah, so my daughter has something going on at her school. I drop her off. I got to be back in an hour. You know what I do? I go in the parking lot, get out the jump rope, do some sets of the jump rope, maybe sit out the ladders, do some ladder drills. That way, I don't miss spending any time with her, and I get my workout in, a little bit of workout. I went out to eat one time. I was meeting up with some people. I was all dressed up. I had a mace in my car. A mace, a buckler, and my ladders. And I posted on my TikTok. It was like when you're the first one to arrive. I got there a half hour early. And I was like, because it was like a drive, you know, it was like this fancy restaurant. I was like, I'm gonna work out. I put my ladders out, buckler, mace, do some shadow boxing, and then do the ladders. It can always work out. Right, Twist. Like, what is better than she it was really cool because she was all about the sword fighting stuff, but you know, I don't have, the guy she's with has like more tattoos. He has the look. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the look. I don't have that look. He seems like he's more into like, they just seem like a better match. The funny thing is, you know, when we first started going out, everything was great. So why it just ended so quick, I don't know. But anyway, she came to all my fights. She liked the fights. I'm about to get this helmet on, do 3 more sets, and then I'll keep chatting while I take this armor off. I'm telling you, check out the forearms when we're done. I know, like I kind of don't either. You know what I mean? I know all the music. I know like well, the older music. Like I generally drive with them because a lot of the same beliefs. You know, got a lot of the same belief systems, but as far as though like the look and everything and how I act is I don't really act goth. But I'm going to goth night tonight. The last one I went to, everybody stayed in place. Like when the DJ was on, this girl didn't want anyone around her, like beyond her arm's reach. You know, and there's another couple just doing their thing. It was like very antisocial if you're just by yourself, which I'm going by myself. So I'll probably go hang out, listen to music, and probably come back home and play Warframe for an hour. But still, I try to get out and do stuff sometimes. Because my daughter's got finals for school, so she's at her mom's doing all that. So I was like, well, it's Saturday night. I might as well go out for once. Last time she was at her mom's, I think I played Warframe for 8 hours. I was like, I can do something outside of my house today. All right. Three sets, 30 seconds off in the middle, and then I'm gonna armor down, and then I have to get ready for that. But I'll keep talking like. So just 3 sets, but I'm not just ending the stream right away. It'll be a couple minutes to hang out. Yeah, I don't know. I just have bad luck. I've been trying to get a long-term relationship for 2 years, and I get like 3 to 4 months. One of them was like 6 months. One was like 8 months. That's about it. And the one that watches, and she just might see this. The girl who you know who you are, who we dated 8 months ago, you don't text me back enough, so I started talking to somebody else. It's funny because some of them watch my shit. I told her last time we started talking again. I text her something, you know, two days go by. I'm like, she's not interested. And then we talk like, you know, like 3 or 4 weeks later, she texts me or something. And I'm like, well, I'm seeing somebody now. I was like, why don't you fucking text? Oh, sorry for the F-bomb on stream. It's like, why don't you respond? He's like, well, I was working. I was busy. I was like, well, were you busy the next 2 days? So I left that situation. But yeah, I mean, she came to all my fights. It was great. She said I do this too much, though. Oh, Twisted. All right. Hey. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know how this week's gonna play out because I may or may not do another sword workout since I'm fighting next weekend. I have to see how my body recovers, but generally every 4th or 5th day I do one on this live on here, just so you know. And it's usually earlier in the day where it's not 3 a.m. where you're at. But Twist It, thanks for coming by. And we got 2 sets to go here. My feet aren't moving, so I gotta keep my feet moving. That's a bad habit. I sit here and hit this pedal so much that sometimes before I know it, I'm standing in place. Low, high, low, high. Even if you get tired, do something. Oh, oh. All right, come on. How much time left? There's 10 seconds on the timer. Oh man, and this after that event, I may have a new ballroom dance partner. I used to compete in ballroom dancing a while ago too, and I may have a new ballroom dance partner. If that takes off, well, I guess I'll be dancing again. I'm not gonna have any time. I'll be working out, dancing, playing Warframe. My life. Oh, here's a tip. Everybody that's a guy that's tuned in, which is probably everybody, learn how to salsa dance for when you're older. I'm telling you, it will come in handy. All right, come on, everything in this set right here. There's still 34 seconds to go. Oh. My shoulders are on fire. My grip kind of hurts. All right. Oh, I missed. Oh, that hurt so. That was so hard to pull my sword back up. Oh my God. Did I get a workout today? Oh. All right, let me turn the beeper off. When I talk into this camera, is the sound okay? Because it's coming from the mic is over there. Wow, we did a lot of work today compared to usual. Usually on the live streams. What's up, Matthew? Yeah. Yeah, I have a pile of paper towels on the floor. And no AC in this house. So as I was telling everybody at the end of the broadcast, I don't lift weights at all. I will show you my sword fighting muscles. I was saying something else. Oh yeah, I was talking about my ex. She might watch this. I doubt she'll see this part. It's funny though. She watches my stuff and then she'll tell me about it. Like we're not even together. I was like, and last time I was texting you because maybe we would be together, but you don't text me back. So move on. God, what a horrible, horrible thing, huh? All right, so. All right, this is. Let me get OBS up so I can see it, because I can't. It's like a 30-second delay. All right. So, sword fighting. This might not be the best camera, but like this is just sword fighting, arms and muscles. I don't do any kind of weightlifting. I do exercises that are like just body weight, but like not even squeezing. Like I can even see it's like just my arm is pulsating. But yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Down here is a little flabby and stuff. But there's a couple girls I went out with recently that were like ripped. But Ooh, that's just from swords. All right, so I need to get a shower. Oh, I need to get ready for goth night, everybody. See, do I look goth? No. I'm looking in the mirror there. I don't look goth. But I'm going to goth night because I do like the music. I like techno music too. I listen to techno. Not all. I was listening to some Selly Cell today. Probably no one out there knows what that is. An old rapper dude from when I was growing up. From LA, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready, everybody. Oh, I know. Sword fighting. From here up, swords. Look at this. I even got this muscle here in my hand. I don't know if you can see it. Like this muscle. One thing I noticed though, my thumbs are a little different. And it has to be because it has to be from sword fighting because I never noticed this till like a couple years ago. This it's not like a callus. It's almost like my thumb bone now is kind of different. And it might be because so if I don't know. So whenever I'm really gripping this thing, I don't know if it's because of how my thumb lines up here and it's like kind of maybe from all the manipulation I do. I don't know. But for some reason, I got this huge thumb bone there. Maybe it's from rubbing inside my gauntlets. But anyway, I used to lift weights back in the day. I used to lift weights a lot. So I think some of this is muscle memory. But like this up here, this little whole thing, I'm telling you, is just from swords. All right, everybody. So tell you what. I know. Well, no, she's already seen it though. That's the thing. I'm telling you that she's been posting these TikToks and nobody watches them because she doesn't use hashtags. And I'm just like, God, I was like she's so in shape, like just ripped. I don't even, and we just met on an app. You know what I mean? Like she's just said she's active. I was like, okay, like that's like I was like, I'm glad you're active. Here, oh, and when I message somebody, I give them a compliment. Maybe I never go like crazy. I don't talk anything like lovey-dovey. You know what I mean? It seems to work. I'm not like, I think I'm like a 5 or 6. You know what I mean? Just eventually you'll get a couple that say hey and you talk. I'm like, so I like that you list that you're active, and then it turns out they're like the ones running stadium steps and lifting weights for 2 hours every day. The other one, like this one, does like all this crazy cardio and is totally ripped. I was like, oh, it's like I feel out of place. But anyway, that's another story. So, oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is the new format. I used to stream from my phone these cardio workouts every 4th or 5th day. Maybe not this week because I have an actual fight coming up, Matthew, and I don't know which day I'm fighting. Friday, Saturday, or Sunday in Cincinnati, Ohio. If anyone lives in Cincinnati, look up Cincinnati Siege. Huge competition, national tournament. And I'm fighting there, and I don't want to wear myself out. Maybe I'll do some sword and shield on Wednesday or Tuesday on here. But every 4th or 5th day, you know, I try and live stream these workouts. And I'm looking at the new setup. 2 cameras, because now I can use my you heard the beep. When I streamed before, man, I'd be like 2 hours into it. I'd just be hitting this. We're like at least a half hour ahead of usual. Maybe, I don't know how much, but we're on a good pace. The hamster alarm went off. The hamster's awake. It's almost 9. He needs to eat. So I got to feed the hamster, get ready for goth night, and I'll be back tomorrow morning. Maybe some more frame in the morning, probably, just so you know. And then I'm working a couple days, so we'll see how it goes. But everybody that tuned in, thanks. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope this is a better setup with the 2 cameras. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. I must be on the bottom camera now. It sucks because I'm looking at it and there's a delay. As I said, I'm always one of my viewers, so I can watch it. There we go. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in. And I will catch you shortly. 3 or 4 days for swords, tomorrow for Warframe.